What is going on, everybody? What is going on, the Catch fam? I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone out there has had a great Friday. Hope you guys are looking forward to a great weekend, which will include week 15 of 2023 NFL season. More importantly, week 15 of the 2023 fantasy football season, which means the fantasy playoffs are here. They officially began last night. It's an absolute beatdown of the Chargers by the Raiders, 63-21, and actually quite a few fantasy points to go around in that game. And now we get to move into a Saturday slate of 3 games and then a full Sunday and Monday slate as well. So, you guys know what we're here for tonight. Fantasy Q&A, whatever you guys need. Mostly going to be starts and sits, roster reviews, dynasty questions, trade questions, whatever it is. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. And of course, per usual on Fridays, we've got Pete from After the Review Sports in the house with us. What's going on, man?
I'm excited. Playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Got one team on a bye, got one team in a playoffs at your expense, and another team I, of course, fell apart because, a Patrick Mahomes, Garrett Wilson stack to start the season is always a bad way to go.
It happens, man. Yeah, I mean, we probably have to address the elephant in the room that he did knock me out of the playoffs in it was the only in the Catch Fam tournament this year, the only league I didn't make the playoffs. But all I needed, even with a loss to you, was 10 more points on the season. Jalen Hurts had 8 points this past week. Tyreek Hill had by Tyreek Hill standards, a bad game.
He didn't play for 3/4 of that game.
Exactly. So honestly, I feel like I don't know. My team let me down more than anything.
They let you down, indeed. But I guess I'm the new permanent host of the show. As per the rules of fantasy, it's kind of like there can only be one. So I'm in charge now. That's how we're gonna go from now.
I'll hand it right over to you. But I mean, it was a good match. Your team went crazy, like 100.
I know we had a great week. It was a good time to have a great week.
I still scored like 140, but you did well.
Cowboys defense going against Jalen Hurts really was the game changer right there.
It happens, man. It happens. But congrats, and I hope you won the championship in that league.
No shot in that league. couple of juggernauts in that league.
Never know. So we'll start tonight. I'll put you on the spot here because the first game Saturday be the Vikings at the Bengals, and as our verified Vikings expert, we got a new quarterback starting with Nick Mullins. Probably going to see JJ even with that internal chest injury. How are you feeling about the Vikings purely fantasy-wise going into Saturday?
Fantasy-wise should be interesting. Bengals defense is like all of a sudden figured out how to be the Bengals defense again, like what we expected coming into the year. They've been good the last few weeks. So they're playing well. I've been begging for weeks now. I've been on this show screaming, Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins is the guy. The Vikings got 50 yards of offense for almost 4 quarters. Nick Mullins comes in, 2 drives, gets a field goal, wins the game. 3 for 3 on third downs. Look, this is the guy you want if you're a Vikings fantasy holder. Addison's going to get targets. Hawkinson's going to get targets. Jefferson back. Seems like he was fine. He avoided everything. Kind of sounds like they sent him to the hospital so he wouldn't put himself back into that game is kind of what I read because, JJ wants to play and it's like we have to protect him from himself sometimes. So they weren't comfortable with – so it was like, go to the hospital, get this checked out. Thanks to Josh Dobbs, who's now the 3rd string quarterback for throwing that ball and getting him injured. But if you own a playmaker on the Vikings, I'd be ecstatic. Ty Chandler's going to be the starting running back. He's going to see a bulk of the carries with no Madison. So should be a good game for them. Like this is like Kirk Cousins light, man. Like Nick Mullins can get the football out, can get it to the playmaker. So should be a big day fantasy wise. Problem is, I don't know if they're going to see the end zone too much against Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, if you own TJ Hawkinson, you probably have to start him anyways. But the one thing this Bengals defense been really bad at this year is facing the tight end position. So I think Hawkinson, you kind of feel like regardless of who's at quarterback, the tight end position is always that nice security blanket. So I think he's gonna have a good game, and I'll take your word for it. Everyone else will have a good game. But you've been saying it all year long. You want Nick Mullins and Ty Chandler out there, and this is the week, man.
It's not the
I
best
mean, I
week.
guess
Not the best week to get it. I mean, the Bengals have all of a sudden found something with Jake Browning now. Does Brian Flores have the greatest defense in the history of football? Well, after last night, he might. We don't know.
yeah,
So we'll
it's
see
true.
how that plays out.
Raiders offense went from a shutout to a ridiculous amount of points. So, all right. So very quickly here, we'll just take a look at the news for the day, which is not very, very positive here. And then we'll hop right into your guys' fantasy questions. So, CJ Stroud is doubtful, not expected to play this weekend, and Nico Collins has been downgraded to out. So, that's not good. There's a virtually nobody that I really want to start on the Texans offense this weekend on the road against a Titans team that, let's face it, whether we like it or not, has a little bit of juice in them, is going to want to win this divisional game. I'm not starting any Houston Texan this weekend. I'm just not. Um, on the other hand, Isaiah Pacheco's been rolled out again as well. So we got another week of Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, which last week I liked Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he got like 8 fantasy points. So this week we'll probably have like 16, but we can't feel too confident about starting him. So we'll get to that as it comes up tonight. Brian Robinson is out against the Rams, and Ramondre Stevenson is expected to be out for the Patriots as well. So quite a few things affecting lineups potentially. I don't know how, but I literally have a team that has CJ Stroud, Isaiah Pacheco, and Ramondre Stevenson. So like most big names. But let us know, of course, how injuries are affecting you guys. Maybe you have a bye week, maybe you got lucky, they're not affecting you. But of course, let us know how they're affecting you, what waiver wire moves you guys might need to make, or who do you need to pull up off of the bench. Because I've had 1 or 2 leagues where I've had to get a little bit creative. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here, and let's talk some fantasy. I know you guys don't like defensive leagues, but unfortunately, I'm in one. Oh, we're all for defenses. Don't worry about that. All right, Colts or Saints defense. This is a close one. I think the Colts are very solid. Like, if you want a floor, they're probably going to give it to you. They're the defense 4 in the season. But I just feel like everyone's kind of looking at this matchup against Mitchell Trubisky, and it's just like Steelers suck.
I mean,
And
Mitchell Trubisky is terrible. Like, there's
yeah,
no sugarcoating that one.
it's fair. He played okay against the Patriots, though. Like, it's not like the Patriots defense like went crazy against him or anything. I mean, uh, so yeah, I don't know. I think he is terrible, but I think that the Steelers can probably score some points in this game. That's another game that's tomorrow. So, and then the Saints defense, I think is probably fine as well, but they haven't scored a ton of fantasy points. And once again, I mean, like, can't disrespect my guy Tommy DeVito out here. Okay, he's
Tommy Cutlets is the man. Like,
might be my favorite player in the NFL right now. Okay, but the Colts are at home. This defense has been really solid all season long. I'd probably stick with the Colts. That would be my answer. I think the Saints are still okay, but I'd probably go the Colts. All right, I'm on bye. Drop Ravens defense to pick up the Broncos. Yeah, here's the thing about the Ravens. You're not going to start them this year, the rest of the year. Their schedule is not favorable. Jacksonville, San Francisco, Miami, 2 of those are road games. You can drop them. I mean, they did their job this year for you. The Broncos have a very good opportunity this week, and they're still a top 12 defense in fantasy. So
and next week they got the
yeah,
Patriots next week. I scooped up Denver's defense.
that's actually this is probably their toughest matchup
Yeah.
on the road against Detroit. But next week they get Zappy, as you stated, and then the week after that they get our guy Easton Stick. So, and you also have the Jets and the Colts. Yeah, we don't need three defenses here. And yeah, I don't think you need the Ravens at all. So, I would definitely try to go for the Broncos there because after this week, um, you can just roll with the Broncos the rest of the season. All right, Mateo, what's going on? One started 2-6, won 6 in a row. Let's go. 8-6 made the playoffs as the fourth seed. Job's not finished. Let's go. Let's get the championship. Someone dropped JT. I just dropped McKinnon and picked him up. Do you think Taylor will be back in 2 weeks? I hope so for your sake. But it's tough to say. The Colts are one of these teams, on the playoff bubble. So as long as they're winning games, they get Pittsburgh, Atlanta, and Las Vegas. There's definitely a chance that JT comes back and plays, but they got to continue to rack up these dubs. Caleb, what's up, man? How many games will Mitch start in? I need him to play. Actually, I'm not like super up to date on the Kenny Pickett injury because on my list of things I'm interested in the NFL, it's been pretty low.
You mean Kenny Pickett's ankle injury? He's out at least 2 more. I think they threw him on the IR 3 weeks ago now. So he's missed 2. I think he'll miss another one. Maybe he's only missed 1.
He's missed week 14 and 15. Fully.
Okay, so then out the next 2 at least.
Yeah. So yeah, for fantasy, you should be good there to roll with Mitch.
Please find somebody else to be your starting quarterback, please.
It's probably
a super flex. I'm hoping it's a super flex.
I think it's knowing Caleb. It's dynasty, so dynasty super flex. So
hey, Aiden O'Connell.
I get it, man.
There's your dynasty super flex god right there.
I'm in one dynasty super flex league where it's like the options are not like I am literally starting Tommy DeVito or like Josh Down.
Should have started Aiden O'Connell.
I know he's not out there. Super C and B, what's up? Pick one running back and a flex. We got Monty, Zeke, and Flowers. This is a little bit tougher than you might think. I'm probably just going Monty and Flowers though. I still like Zeke this week. I think you can definitely start him. You should get RB2 volume. Chiefs have still been good against the run, and Monty a great matchup. I really like that Lions-Broncos game in terms of fantasy. And Zay Flowers as well, just a really good matchup. He's been solid. He's been really solid. Good.
I think Zeke's a bad matchup for the
it
Chiefs.
Is.
Like he's a bad kind of running, but like the Chiefs defense is really stout against those kind of like Zeke grinds you into dirt. We saw him do it against Pittsburgh, look good against Pittsburgh. Like that's not the kind of running back that's going to beat Kansas City's defense.
Yeah, I have after that kind of beatdown the Patriots put on the Steelers last week, and just the state of the Chiefs right now, I have a bad feeling that there's going to be an unexpected beat down from the Chiefs this week. Like they're just going to really show up and play well. But at the same time, I don't know, Bill Belichick's got he's out the door rumors going on, and maybe his defensive game plan is great. He really breaks down Mahomes, but I think the Chiefs are going to win this week. I think the Eagles, another team that are going to bounce back in a strong fashion against the Seahawks. So, I do like Zeke if you have to start him. But when you got guys like Monty and Flowers and really good matchups, two teams continuing to fight for those higher playoff seeding potentially, you got to start those guys.
I mean, the Lions need it. Lions lose this week. Vikings win tomorrow. Lions lose. They're playing for first place next week, so they kind of have to stop screwing around.
I meant to ask you about that. I mean, your Vikings in the playoffs right now, man.
If we win this week, the Vikings should make the playoffs because they own all the tiebreakers.
I know you were joking about your defense, but realistically, if Kirk and JJ were healthy this year, man,
we'd be losing in the NFC Championship game like always. It would be guaranteed NFC Championship loss.
I think it definitely could have been a year close to last year.
Especially since they beat the snot out of Frisco already, too.
Yeah. Full PPR, Njoku or McBride? This is a good question. Leaning Njoku, but I want y'all's opinion. So Njoku, Joe Flacco put on a show.
I kind of love the Njoku Flacco right now. It's money.
Yeah, next to DeVito, that's probably my next favorite quarterback in the NFL right now is Flacco. Um, Listen, I really like Trey McBride this week, even though it's a very bad matchup. The Niners giving up the fourth fewest fantasy points to tight ends. But his volume in the past couple weeks, since week 10, he's had 9 or more targets in every game since week 8. 9 or more targets every game except for one. So the volume is just really high. They're at home. He's got to be a huge part of this game plan. But yeah, like you look at Njoku right now, and it's like he's super tough to bench, man. I mean, um, Chicago, nothing to sneeze at there.
Are they good against tight ends? I thought they were bad against kind of like running backs in the flat and tight ends in the passing game is where they struggled the most. I think
Uh, they're right in the middle in terms of fantasy
just
points allowed
average.
this season. They're 16th. So
Not as good as
I
their
mean,
run defense, clearly.
sure, yeah. I mean, they're not great. They're not necessarily bad, but something about that Chicago defense worries me
They're
right
playing
now.
good. They're playing good.
Yeah, but like I think Njoku's going to see a lot of volume as well. It's interesting because I really feel like you could argue both Njoku and McBride are like the number one option on both of their respective offenses right now. Even though Amari Cooper is probably going to play and be fine, and Kyler's questionable, or sorry, not Kyler. Hollywood Brown's questionable. So I don't know. I think if you like Njoku, just stay with Njoku. But I think both these guys will have good games. So we'll go with the Flacco and Njoku connection. You guys think we'll win? Colts versus Steelers. I'm leaning the Colts here,
Mhm.
but the Steelers are one of these teams that does things
I, th-
that
I
you're
think
like,
I
oh,
think we got the Colts. Like the Steelers are the team that's gonna. Somebody has to fold and miss the playoffs in the AFC, and I feel like it's gonna be Pittsburgh.
I hope so. They can finish above 500, but I don't want to watch you guys in the playoffs. I'm sorry. Ravens Jags is I it's very close.
I
That's
sneaky like the Jags this week.
yeah. I think a lot of people are leaning with the Ravens, but I like the Jags too. I mean, you look at what T-Law was able to do last week, gimping around against the Browns defense.
They've lost two in a row. They have to keep going. The division's tight. Ravens went on an insane walk-off punt. Like that's a big emotional letdown. Now the Jags, for some reason, Trevor Lawrence is a god on the road and he's terrible at home. They has reverse splits. So maybe that kind of I don't want to touch that game. But I think the Ravens, I don't know. They're due to let down. Like they kind of always let down after a big spot.
I'm not. I would not bet on this game. Say that
No.
much. I don't feel good either way. But yeah, I mean, we got some matchups this weekend. Ravens, Jags, Eagles, Hawks, Cowboys, Bills. I mean, those last 3 games of the week are going to be good ones, and probably going to be some points scored. Panthers, Falcons. I will go with the Falcons.
I can't ever bet on Arthur Smith team. We can't
I
ever trust him.
this is fair. I do like the Falcons
The
though.
Panthers are terrible. Yeah, Rams should blow out the Commanders, but the Commanders' offense we do like this week in fantasy.
Sure, sure. I definitely think the Rams are going to win that football game. Um, but Commanders haven't been playing as good offensively. But I think coming off the bye, they're going to be playing from behind this game, and Sam Howell put something together. And um, last week, that Rams defense did not show up at all against the Ravens. So,
And they didn't show up against the Browns either.
sure, sure. So there's some good matchups this week for sure. All right, Carl's go. Got a comfortable lead up in my playoff matchup thanks to Vegas' defense. Let's go. With that being said, I don't know who to flex. Clyde, Ridley, or A-Chain. Full PPR got Kyron, Bijan, Amaral, Flowers starting. Listen, if you want upside, you can start A-Chain this week. I mean, he kind of has like this toe injury that came out of nowhere, and now he's questionable. But if he starts, you can throw him out there for sure. And if he doesn't, I like Ridley. I mean, Ridley's got to be the number one guy now. Christian Kirk's on IR. It is a tough matchup, but the volume share will be there, and I expect points in that game. I don't think I'm allowed to recommend Clyde Edwards-Helaire for the rest of the year. So
Just too risk. Like the Chiefs are just. I think New England, Bill always takes away one thing. He's gonna make those scrub receivers beat him. He's like, you're not running the football. Throw the
Mm.
ball.
See,
Go catch the football.
I kind of had the opposite feeling. I
Ooh.
feel like he's going to try and take Rasheed Rice out of this game because then it's like, other than Kelsey, like Patrick Mahomes gets super frustrated super quickly because he's no one to throw to.
Run the ball. I think then they go to power run and just like if they're
Yeah.
gonna let us run.
But I just think Clyde Edwards-Helaire definitely touchdown dependent. Didn't get it last week, got you 8 points. His volume was good last week, and on the ground he wasn't bad. He's in, McKinnon came in and scored the touchdown. So
Well, we know
I
that
think
was
Clyde's
gonna happen.
okay, but I can't have confidence in him again because too many guys started him last week because I liked him. But yeah, I go A-Chain Ridley then Clyde. It's the playoffs. You got to try and start some of these guys who can just boom, and A-Chain is one of those guys. So, all right, T-Law or Russ? It's a good matchup for Russell Wilson. Russ has been solid, but I think you got to go T-Law.
Ooh, he's going.
I mean, he looked fine. I mean, I know he threw 3 picks, but he had like
I,
23
I,
fantasy
I
points.
think I lean Russ because the game is in Detroit, indoors.
I like
That
that.
that means they're going to be able to throw against the secondary. I think Detroit wins this game, but like they kind of have to have this game this week. I don't know. Trevor just, I don't know. He's bad at home. He's just kind of bad at home and outdoors. Now, like the Jags could win this game, be in this game, and ETN gets the touchdown. Like ETN runs
Sure.
in 2 touchdowns. Trevor throws 1 touchdown. They win this game 24-21. You're not surprised by that result. Now, I will say Russell Wilson did not look great against the Chargers defense. Jared Judy can't catch a football. They had a late touchdown to salvage his week on a 3rd and 1 where they ran a boot and nobody covered the tight end in the end zone 20 yards downfield. So I get it. He didn't look good last week, Russell.
Yeah. The thing that worries me with Russ is like his ceiling is just really low. Like last week, he still threw 2 touchdowns. But he only had 16 fantasy points. Previous week, threw a touchdown, ran one, only had 18 fantasy points. Like it's just this team can win football games, but they kind of do it in a unique, like low scoring way. Um, I once again playoffs. I take the
The
potential.
better guy. Trevor Lawrence is a
Sure,
better quarterback. We're going with the better guy.
I don't dislike Russell Wilson. I
Nope.
don't necessarily disagree with anything he said, but I'm going with T Law because last week I didn't have the confidence in him. It's that time of year you got to start the guys that you went out, you drafted earlier for the most part. I'm going to go T Law here. All right, Drake London, Odell, or Romeo Dobbs. I like Odell. Once again, I like that matchup. The Jags secondary, I don't know. I mean, they haven't been great this year, but I don't know lately where they've been at all. OBJ's been pretty solid. I'm gonna go Odell. I know Drake London had the big game, but it's a tougher matchup for him this week. Half PPR. Wait to see if A-Chain plays or play Ty Chandler. Could pivot to Keaton Mitchell or Kincaid. I kind of like Ty Chandler actually. I think the best volume overall is for Chandler. If you want to kind of go for that upside play, go A-Chain. But I think Ty Chandler's gonna have a good game. So maybe the one worry, kind of like Pete said earlier, is they don't find the red zone a ton.
We're also
So
missing a
kind of,
right tackle. We kind of
yeah.
run right a lot, so that could be an
You
issue. But
know,
Ty Chandler's a
I'm a,
dog.
I'm a little worried about the Dolphins this weekend because their starting center's out. You got Quinnen Williams going up in the middle of the defensive line there, and Tyreek Hill is a big question mark, and that Jets defense is a little spooky. Aaron Rodgers going to come back and save the season next week. Zach Wilson might get a dub. But I still think you can start A-Chain if you want. But I do think that if Tyreek doesn't play, that we maybe need to, tamper expectations a little bit this weekend for the Dolphins offense. It's a big loss. I know their center's name because fortunately no one cares
It was
about
Connor
offensive line.
Williams. It wasn't Connor Williams their center.
Yes,
There
yes,
you
that
go.
is who it is. That it's a big loss for this team. So I think I like Chandler. Mitchell is kind of a desperation start. Good matchup for him, but Kincaid's like,
they never give Mitchell the ball.
yeah, it's like it's just too risky. Kincaid's okay, of course, but he hasn't really had that ceiling lately. So I go Chandler for a floor, A chain if you want to risk it for the biscuit. All right, let's see. Pick 3 for 3 flex spots. We got London McLaurin, Warren, Gus, McBride, Flowers, Foreman. Full PPR, but one of these spots will also be taken if Tyreek plays. Okay. We'll go McLaurin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully. I'm thinking.
And I would just start McBride. I think he's fine there. I think he can still start Gus the Bus, right?
Yeah, I mean, Jaguars' run defense hasn't been good.
It was crazy. They were like top 5 early in the season, and like now they're like bottom 5. Gus has been a little worrisome lately, but you can start him, I think. So I probably go McLaurin, Gus the Bus, and McBride. And hopefully Tyreek plays for you. And if you don't like one of those guys, you can still consider Drake London.
Drake London's been consistent, has a great week. They throw it. Desmond Ridder is the worst red zone quarterback, maybe in the history of the NFL. But the Panthers have a horrible run defense, so they're going to run the ball 50 times this weekend with Bijan.
I think the weather's supposed to be really bad for that game. I need to double check.
On top of it, run the ball.
But yeah, I mean, that game just feels like I hope the defense is just banned and we get points on both sides and entertainment. That game feels gross, dude.
Yes, 52 and rainy.
Yeah.
100% chance of rain.
Yeah, I know it's supposed to be like super rainy. So I don't know if I like London a ton. And the Panthers actually rank pretty high against the wide receiver position, believe it or not. So, but that's kind of skewed because they get just ran all over. Tua Fields staph infection, dude.
You got to go staph infection, right?
I kind of like Stafford the best here. I think I have to go Stafford, which is blowing my mind. But yeah, Tua might be without Tyreek. I think you can go Fields. I like Fields this weekend. But I think you have to go Stafford against Washington.
Commander's secondary is so bad. They're so bad in the secondary.
Fields is on the road against the Browns. This Browns defense hard to evaluate, really up and down. They look pretty bad lately, but I'm gonna go Stafford. Yeah. Kyler or the legend Flacco. Not a great matchup for Kyler. This Niners team is pretty good. Flacco is at home. This Bears defense has been good. Oh man, it's so funny. Like,
yeah,
did anyone expect to have this question the first week of the playoffs? Kyler Murray or Joe Flacco? Man. So the Bears are still pretty far back, bottom 12 against quarterbacks. They're 20th. And then on the other hand, the Niners are top 3. But I mean, it's at home. Like Kyler is going to be playing from behind. He's probably
off a bye. He's been good since he's been back.
But I still feel a little worried about him. You just never know what's going to happen with this Niners defense. You know, they might bend a bit and give up some points, or they might just like trash a team. You know, is it crazy that I want to go Joe Flacco here?
A little crazy. I think Kyler's probably a safer play.
Let's go Kyler.
It's only been 2 games with Joe Flacco. Now the Bears can stop the run, so maybe Joe Flacco's got to go air it out. But I don't know, man. He's looked good. The thing is, Joe Flacco's guaranteed to throw a pick. Like he'll throw a pick. I don't know if Kyler will. Kyler probably will throw a pick. Is the problem. Maybe Kyler's rushing gets him out of some trouble here against San Francisco where he can break contain and just tuck it.
The Niners are playing pretty poor against wide receivers for what it's worth. This is so tough. I think Flacco for a floor, Kyler for the upside. Maybe in the playoffs, we just go with a guy like Kyler, kind of going back to like question T-Law or Russ. Like, let's go with the guy that usually gives us fantasy points. Let's go with Kyler. All right, Javonte, Najee, Odell, London, or Dobbs. I like Odell. I mean, I think Najee's okay. The Colts' run defense been bad. Javonte is one of these guys you can always start, but I'll take the upside. I'll go Odell. Pick one wide receiver in a flex. Ayuk, DJ Moore, Puka, Flowers, A-Chain. That is, tough. You got to start Ayuk, and you got to start Puka.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I do really like DJ Moore each and every week. And I like Flowers, and I like A-Chain. But I would start Ayuk and Puka. Just two matchups you cannot ignore. Two teams with playoff implications on the
Puka
line.
had a good week last week against a good secondary. So
Huge touchdown. Puka, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, Matthew Stafford. You have to start them this week. You just can't ignore the matchup. And at this point, if you own any San Francisco 49er, like any of those top guys, Purdy, Ayuk, Debo, obviously CMC, Kittle, you have to start them every week. All right, Cleveland's defense or Tennessee?
Tennessee, I think. No CJ Stroud, Tennessee, Davis Mills, trash.
Yeah, agreed. I'll go Tennessee. Start one in PPR. We got Deontay, Curtis Samuel, or Jordan Addison. Right now, I have Deontay in my lineup. I like the potential garbage time in Curtis Samuel. Do we like Jordan Addison here?
I don't like him that much because again, I didn't get to see a full game with him and Jefferson. I would have liked to see what that kind of looked like with him and Jefferson on the field together. I don't know. Maybe Jordan Addison has some very high upside. Like he could go for 100 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I feel like this is a really close one, Victor. I think if you feel good about Curtis Samuel, you can definitely start him. I think we agree that there's going to be some garbage time potential there. He's been solid, coming off the bye week. He had like double digits in his last 2 or 3 games. So if you like Curtis Samuel, trust your gut. In the playoffs, it's the best thing you can do. Don't overthink it. Go with that gut feeling. And I think you can definitely start Curtis Samuel. The Rams right in the middle, 16th against wide receivers. So I don't know. I mean, Deontay Johnson's actually been like scoring touchdowns with Mitchell Trubisky. I like Curtis Samuel and Jordan Addison more, though. All right. Defense, Colts, Broncos, or Eagles have Ravens. Who do I pick up for this week going forward? Out of these options this week, I like the Colts the best. But on the season, I'd want to go with the Broncos. If it means you can only have one, I go with the Broncos because the next 2 weeks are really solid. And I think they're okay against Detroit. Nothing crazy. I think the Colts are a better start once again this week, but yeah, we talked about it earlier. The Broncos will face Bailey Zappi, who maybe is good, but probably not. And then Easton Stick, who also, to his credit, fantasy-wise, like 23 fantasy points. Somehow.
Cool, you were down 48-7,
Yeah.
56-3, or whatever the hell that game
I
was.
don't even know
Congratulations.
the Raiders had starters out there, but
Definitely did when he scored 2 touchdowns.
So yeah, I think the Broncos are the best unit here.
Philly not terrible. Philly not terrible with New York and Arizona coming up.
That's a good point.
Because New York, like as much as we like Tommy DeVito, they don't throw the ball. And the Eagles stop the run. Giants can't run the ball. Giants really can't do anything.
Tommy DeVito's going to throw 3 touchdowns against the Eagles.
Yeah, they're all from the 3 then, because Saquon carried for 2 bills. That's about it.
Let's see here. Zeke or James Cook. That's close. Neither of these guys have a good week or a good matchup this week. James Cook, I feel like is one of those guys. Kind of got to start right now, though. But I don't know because this Cowboys unit's pretty good against the run.
But you saw them
He's just
get them
been,
involved. Like they got James Cook in the passing game involved, had the big touchdown pass.
yeah, I mean, he's been solid the last 3 weeks, 16 or more fantasy points, and he's had tough matchups. Kansas City, Philly, and the Jets not really tough, but I just feel like once again here in the playoffs, you go with the guy that you drafted for a purpose, and you go with James Cook here. I feel like there's going to be points in that game too. Like I think the Cowboys defense is not going to be perfect every game. We've seen that in the past couple weeks, so I think Zeke is okay once again. If you need to start him, I think the RB2 numbers and volume will be there. Uh, the Chiefs have slid back a little bit against running backs, 14th, but I think you go James Cook here. We'll go Cook. Steelers, Chiefs, Ravens. Hmm, I don't know if I would trust any of these defenses this week.
I'd lean KC of these three, just
Yeah,
because like New England's offense is kind of whatever.
Bailey Zappi's the best, dude. I will
Maybe.
say, with the amount of backup quarterbacks we've had start in the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've gotten pretty good backup quarterback play. But I agree with you. If it's out of these options, you gotta go with the Chiefs, even though they're on the road and Zappy threw 3 touchdowns last week.
But
You gotta go
Pittsburgh's
Chiefs.
secondary's bad. We've known Pittsburgh
That's
can't
true.
cover people.
That's true. I agree with you. We'll go Chiefs. I'll go Chiefs, Steelers, and Ravens. Full PPR, pick one. Thielen down, Douglas, Shaheed. Yeah, these are like 4 guys in kind of a really similar tier. I would lean Thielen, but like bad weather, AJ Terrell. I think I go Josh Downs here.
Pittsburgh,
Douglas,
bad secondary. Pittsburgh
yeah.
indoors,
Douglas
good weather.
Douglas hasn't really gotten involved with Zappy at quarterback. And he's been hurt, so I'll go Josh Downs. But this is a close one. All these guys are kind of in a weird tier. All right, Hawkinson or Kincaid at tight end with Mullins in. I'll give that one to Pete.
Hawk,
Hawk, yeah.
gotta go Hawk.
The Bengals have been so bad against tight ends. I don't really care. Like Hawkinson will get the ball.
Nick
Kincaid,
Mullins is like not bad. Like he threw in 16 starts, he has
sure.
4,500 passing yards and 24 touchdowns. Those are good numbers. Those are the same as Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I would definitely go Hawkinson. Who's a better week, Gibbs or Monty? I mean, kind of flipping a coin, but I expect both of them to have pretty good games. I'm going to continue to lean Monty on a weekly basis, even though last week it was technically Gibbs. But
I
I'll
was gonna
stand
go
Monty.
the. I was like, it feels like Gibbs is taking over as their back
Really?
now. At least to like, well, they didn't run Monty enough, so that could be why they lost. So that there's what to look at there because they gave a lot to Gibbs. They didn't run a lot of Monty, and they were terrible. So yeah, let's go Monty.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't really blame anyone for wanting to go Gibbs, but I'm just a Monty believer. But both are fine for sure. Thank God Eckler happened on my bye week. Can't wait to see who I start out of Javante, Chandler, or Zeke next week. Tease. I don't know about Eckler anymore this season. It's like, do you have to start him because he's Eckler? I don't know. I don't know. But at least you have some options here. Bottom of the chat, we have a super chat from Little Bunny Hop. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you for the super chat. Field or ride with Russell Wilson? I think I take the upside with Fields. I mean, like you've kind of alluded to it, this Browns defense, or I guess we both talked about it. They've been wishy-washy, you know. Fields will probably have a turnover in this game, but
I'm just so scared. It's like a Fields can't throw game. He
yeah.
can't run. He's got like 78 yards of total offense, 1 touchdown and a pick. And it's like, oh my God, what was I doing? What was I doing starting Fields here?
I think that's fair. It happens with Justin Fields.
I don't like, so I don't draft quarterbacks like that.
Russ is fine. Like I'll say that much. If you're worried about Fields,
Both
I
have
still lean Fields. I think it's close. Um, but Russ is okay if you just want to go for a floor. Then we got Flex One, Jerome Ford, Zay Jones, or Chuba Hubbard. And we love you too, little bunny hop. I think I go Jerome Ford. It's not a great matchup. I
Chicago's
know.
run defense been really good.
I still feel like he'll find a way to get like 10 fantasy points. Like this is what he does.
As long as Hunt doesn't come out of nowhere and just poach the touchdown or whatever.
That's true. How do you feel about Chuba Hubbard then?
I,
Because I
I
think
I hate that matchup, but the weather
yeah,
is terrible. So that could out like I think it was like week 4 after the Vikings played him. Like Chuba Hubbard needs to be starting on this team, and he finally got here. And now it's like they've looked good. Like they've looked better on offense. Like they've looked significantly better on offense. The Panthers. They haven't looked good, but they've looked better than what we saw. But Falcons
yeah,
have a decent defense.
yeah,
I don't know. I could see like a fumble. You don't want to deal with like the weather. You don't want to deal with any of that stuff.
yeah. Because I would say generally it would be Chuba, but I agree all the factors there. And then like I don't know. Zay Jones okay, but I just don't feel super confident there. I I think the safest play is Jerome Ford. I think there's 10-ish points there, and if he scores more, obviously. Um, if it wasn't for the weather and everything, I'd probably just go Chuba Hubbard. So maybe we don't overthink it. Maybe the weather doesn't impact his volume, and maybe Chuba just has another solid game. The ceiling's not really there. So I go with one of the two running backs, but it's definitely tough, buddy hop. So let us know who you're leaning towards, and maybe we'll break that down a little bit more. So thank you for the super chat, and we'll keep rolling here because we're way behind. And we've been on for 42 minutes. I cannot believe that. Okay.
Let's knock them out. Let's knock them
All right.
out.
Pick 2, non PPR. We got Garrett Wilson, Puka, and Ridley. I will go Garrett Wilson and Puka.
Puka, yeah. Safe.
Good to see you, Birdman. Thank you for dropping by. We appreciate you. T-Law, Stafford, or Kyler? Give me Stafford. Yep. Roll with Elliott or Tucker. I'll go Tucker. Both are fine. Lost B-Rob and JT this week. Which guy should start as RB2? Mitchell, Hunt, Brown, CH, or Foreman? Due to volume, I would go Clyde Edwards-Helaire here. Hunt is maybe okay. Like, he scores a touchdown. That's about it, though. So I'll go Clyde.
Chase Brown, sneaky. Just sneaky.
That's true.
Minnesota bad at covering running backs.
Should I start any of those guys over Najee? Probably not. I'm sick. I have the number 1 seed, but no buy, and I lost Herbert, Keenan, pretty much Reek. I'm done with fantasy. Sorry, cheesy. It happens. Just set the best lineup you can and close your eyes. Stafford or T-Law? Listen, I really like T-Law still this week, but I will go Stafford. Ridley or Higgins? Ridley. Close. Pitts or Kincaid? Kincaid. McKinnon, Mitchell, Ty Chandler, Jalen Warren, pick 1. I'll go Ty Chandler. Volume. Volume is king. Started Dobbs over T-Law last week. Wait, good thing I'm already in playoffs. Yeah, jeez.
You should have been in the chat on Friday night. I would have told you not to start Dobbs.
I did start Dobbs in my super flex league, but I don't know who I benched for.
I told you Dobbs was going to get pulled.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. Do you think Nico plays? No, he's out.
Sad. Rip.
What's up, Albert? Good to see you. If you had to pick one running back to pick up, who would be Rico, McKinnon, or Chase Brown? Probably McKinnon, but Chase Brown is fun.
I like Chase Brown. He can run.
Yeah, fast. Nick Mullins, Jared Goff, Joe Flacco, Derek Carr, pick 2. So I'm assuming it's super flex. Goff doesn't feel great.
Flacco? I kind of like, Flacco. It's not a bad play, man. We like Flacco.
Goff and Flacco. I think you had I don't love Goff this week, but I think you have to go Goff.
He said home.
Go Goff.
At home,
Yeah.
indoors. Goff's better in those scenarios.
Yeah. Let's go Goff and Flacco. I like that. Charlie, good to see you. Hello, hello. Teal all lights it up. He's on my bench, and I've been in reverse mojo monster this year. Yeah,
All
it happens. But your team is definitely cursed this year. Good to see you. Let us know if you need anything to help maybe win the toilet bowl or wherever you're at this year. Kevin, what's up? Sit one. Rice or Reed? Um, I will say this much. It looks like Christian Watson's not going to play. And they're probably going to have to rely on Jaden Reed once again, however they choose to use him. It's a good matchup. I do really like Rashee Rice, though, and it's not a bad matchup for him. And I think the Chiefs are going to literally do anything they can, even if they literally kill a ref this weekend to win this football game. So this is close.
they should. Mahomes should yell at the ref more. I like it.
It's definitely close here. But I think I lean Jaden Reed because that that Bucks secondary sucks, man. I'm gonna go Jaden Reed, but it's very close. How do we like Odell Beckham and Jaden Reed this week? Boom week. Yeah, I like both those guys for sure. I mean, I just talked about it with Jaden Reed, but I like Odell. He's been fine. Good to see Mr. Jones. Also forgot I have 18 in the league where I asked about London and all of them for flex spots. Should I pivot towards my RB2 or to Gus or Foreman? You can go Warren. It's a good enough matchup, but Najee's been kind of winning that backfield fantasy wise lately. I think Gus is okay. I like Gus and Warren more than Foreman. Pick one: Chandler, Chuba, Gibson, Connor.
Oh god.
I'd probably stick with Chandler here. But Gibson's okay. He's going to be the lead back with Brian Robinson out. Chuba just feels messy, but the volume was there. Connor is not a good matchup.
Super low efficient. Like the Cardinals can't run even when it is a good matchup.
I think I like Ty Chandler. Do I like Ty Chandler too much?
Maybe. I think the
Okay.
problem that game could be 13-17 is the problem.
Yeah. I think Gibson is okay here because he'll get involved in the pass game too. But yeah, all these guys in like the same tier, so you might want to just kind of trust your gut. Maybe look at the matchups. Pick a defense week 16 through 17. We're going Broncos. We're all in on the Broncos. Brees Hall or Odell.
Kind of like OBJ. We've been on OBJ.
Brees Hall's been really good. That's like I like Odell too, but
as soon as we trust the Jets are gonna jet it up.
That could be true. But Brees Hall is giving you double digits every week since week 5. I think
at a flex, yeah, okay. At a flex, Brees Hall's.
I think I like Brees Hall. The Dolphins 15th against running backs. Like they're not bad. But I don't know. I think Odell is still a really good start. I'm gonna go Brees though, but it's close. Fields or Goff? Goff is kind of the floor play, not a lot of risk, maybe not a ton of upside, but he's perfectly fine. Fields brings you that upside, but gives you risk. Okay, I think we already hit this one. Tommy, what's going on, man? Appreciate the leagues this year. Yeah, of course. Happy to have you in them. Dynasty playoffs start tomorrow. Me versus Steven. Have a tough flex decision to make. Also, you versus J-Dubs. Not rooting for either one. Hold on. Chat is going backwards for me. Okay. J-Dubs with Flacco and Trubisky. Yeah. He's screwed because he had Herbert and whoever else who's hurt. So he's literally got Flacco and Trubisky against me. So yeah, I think there's a path that me and you can play each other, Tommy, next week. So I guess we're not rooting for each other. But good luck. We'll see how it goes, man. It should be fun either way. Full PPR, McBride, Ford, Connor, or Chandler in the flex. I like McBride. I'm gonna stick with Trey. Thank you for not getting 4 points, Devontae. I was worried after that first half. I was
Everybody
worried,
was worried. Hey,
but he
Devontae
came
just
through.
washed. He's just washed. It's whatever, man.
The one guy who did not come through for some reason you were relying on him was Hunter Renfro. Zeros across the board. Everyone else on this team like found a way to do something. Chuba or Chandler half PPR.
I think Chuba's the safer play.
Okay. I was going to let you answer because for some reason I'm really gravitating towards Ty Chandler tonight. But yeah, I mean Chuba's volume has been just really good. I agree. We'll go Chuba. I still think Chuba's okay. How do you feel about Atlanta's defense this week? What are your top defensive streams for the rest of the playoffs? I do like Atlanta as a start this week. For me, going across leagues this week, it was truthfully Atlanta and Las Vegas. And I picked up Atlanta in more leagues than I picked up the Raiders. But luckily, I still started the Raiders in 3 leagues. So I like the Falcons. Rainy game. They've hit double digits twice in the last 3 weeks. Carolina, messy, gross, Bryce Young, bad. But yeah, if the Broncos are out there, that's the team we're really liking. Week 16 and 17. Philadelphia, not a bad pickup. They're not rostered in as many leagues. You can kind of roll with them in week 16 and 17 as well.
Chicago, not bad.
Chicago's a very sneaky team right now in terms of fantasy scoring. Defensively, I guess I should say. But yeah, they've hit double digits their last 2
They
games.
play New Orleans, or they play Atlanta and New Orleans, or
Cleveland,
and
Arizona.
They play.
Yeah. So there's opportunity there for sure. And those week 16 and 17 games are at home. So that helps. So
Bad weather, probably. That helps even more.
sure. Tennessee's kind of interesting because they've hit double digits twice in the last 3 weeks. They hit Houston, Seattle, Houston, but that's all like is CJ Stroud healthy? Is Geno Smith healthy? Things you got to pay attention to. So, and then yeah, the Jets get Washington and Cleveland, like maybe opportunity there. Saints, I don't really like. They're on the road. They get the Rams in Tampa Bay. The Dolphins have gotten dropped in some leagues for some reason. If they're out there, I mean, they played Dallas and Baltimore after they play the Jets this week, so that's probably why. So I don't know. Maybe stay away from them. But the Colts, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Las Vegas, they could be interesting as well. So it's a weird time because like there's a lot of backup quarterbacks playing, but apparently they're all like pretty good. So
some of them are just flat out awful, though.
Yeah. All right, Vincent, what's up, man? Good to see you. Eckler and the team going to bounce back nicely with the new coach. I mean, yeah, like how do you not get Eckler more involved? Like just moral victories for these last 3
Because
games,
he's been
right?
calling plays all year, and he hasn't gotten Eckler more involved.
Yeah. So let's hope, but geez, what a mess! What a waste of a season. Gibson or A Chain in full PPR. Gibson for a 4. A Chain will give you that upside if you want it. Feels playing for his future. He's hungry and dangerous. He is a go. Yeah, I don't disagree.
He always
I'm a
plays good. He always plays good against Detroit. Let's be honest. He didn't score a touchdown against Minnesota the week before. Let's not overreact to Fields against Detroit.
Fields is my guy, though. So
enjoy him in a Falcons jersey next year.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Don't expect an answer because it's our dynasty. Oh no, I'll answer. But can't decide between 2 of Love, Goff, Howe. Meaning Love and Howe. Brian Robinson out. Commanders could be down, and Howe guns it. Tough. Yeah. This is close. I do like Jordan Love for sure. Good
Jordan
matchup.
Love trash. What do you mean?
I'm a Jordan Love believer.
Did we all not watch that Monday night game where he couldn't throw the ball 5 yards to his receivers? Did that just we forget that because it's the Packers, right? Got some Packers sense over here.
It's fine. He'll be okay. He's at home. Tampa Bay secondary is bad.
Tampa Bay secondary is bad.
He'll be okay. But I think, I mean, honestly, even then, like I think you still raise a fair point. And I mean, you know, Goff, Last week was awful too. 6.4 points against Chicago on the road. So, and then Sam Howell kind of came off that, you know, long hot streak he had, but did put up fantasy points in the last 3 games as well. He's actually been pretty good. So I think you go Sam Howell, and then the question comes down: do you like Goff at home? Do you trust J Lo? This is close. This is tough. Who do you like?
I like Goff. Goff at home indoors. Jordan Love
I'm gonna give
trash.
you Howell.
Okay, I listened to a ton of people before after the KC game. Oh, Jordan Love, blah, 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 blah. They said the all 22 on Jordan Love is not good. He is not accurate with the football. He's missing open reads. And his receivers have just been making awesome plays. He just kind of
Hmm,
chucks it up there. And we saw the worst of it Monday night. Again,
hmm.
he thinks he's Rodgers out there. And it's like, okay, he took the lead in that game, 21 points against the Giants. And the Giants gifted you the ball at the 30 after a phantom Saquon Barkley fumble where he was clearly tackled, but they don't call him down. Like, come on. Jordan Love was bad Monday night. Bad.
This is fair. I think I kind of like Goff and Howell as well. But yeah, this is like that. I don't know. These guys might be like back to back to back in rankings. So
I think both running backs are questionable for Green Bay also. So no Aaron
that's true.
Jones and a hurt AJ Dillon.
No Watson,
No
probably.
Watson. Like Tampa Bay can really cheat and cover the passing game.
Okay, let's go Goff and Howell.
I think the Packers win this game, but I think it's low scoring.
And if it doesn't work out for Tommy, it helps me. So,
This is good.
um, but yeah, I think I go Goff and Howell. Yeah,
You gotta
it's
just Golf outdoors on the road is so
yeah,
bad. He's just awful, but he's awesome
yeah.
indoors and at home.
This is true, and I expect points in that game. So, all right, Zeke, Walker, Pollard, start 2. Uh, Zeke and Pollard.
Gotta start Tony P.
Walker gets the
I'm
Eagles.
not starting K9 against the best run defense in football.
Yeah, give me Zeke and Pollard here. Schultz, Chig, or Waller. I'm not trusting Waller yet. Let's see it. I know he's probably going to be back. I'll go. I'm not trusting Schultz.
Let's see.
I'll go Chig. Like, why not? I mean, is there? Yeah, I'll just go Chig. He's had like 9.6, 9.4, 8.5 or his last 3
That's
uh,
plenty
points.
good.
It's fine. It's
Plenty good for the position.
Sorry, trying to check his matchup, and it's not on my sheet, but I don't really care. Like, I'll go Chig. I'll go Chig. Why not? Saints or Browns defense. I don't really trust the Browns defense right now. I just don't. They had 13 points last week, so I don't know why I don't trust them. They're at home against Justin Fields. They're probably
They do sack the quarterback. They do force turnovers.
Saints had 24 points last week, and they get DeVito at home.
But
This is tough.
They had the block punt for the touchdown, so it wasn't
That's
even
true.
it wasn't the defense. Special teams.
That's true. Special teams.
Okay.
I
think Saints are a safer play.
Okay, we'll go Saints. That's where I was leaning to. Bottom of the chat, rock out with the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see here. PPR, 1 running back. Flex, Javonte Walker, Mitchell, or McLaurin. Wait. PPR, 1 running back and a flex?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
So I think I will go Javonte and McLaurin. What do you think?
Yeah, that's where I was leaning. They don't give Mitchell the ball enough, and K9's got a horrid matchup.
Yeah, Javonte, double digits every week except week 11 since week 7. Not pretty. Kind of like Jerome Ford. It's like you just
Don't
kind of
watch it. Just don't watch it. Just let the number
there.
be there. Let it just come in.
If he scores a touchdown, he probably gets you like 16, 18 points. So, yeah, Walker, it's just a tough matchup. He's been banged up. He played last week, 9 points. I think if you have to start Walker, there's nothing out there. You can, but yeah, I think I go Javante and Scary Terry here. So thank you for the super chat, Rock Out. We appreciate you. Let us know if you need anything else. Toilet Bowl in all three redrafts with one bye in the Catch Fam League. Let's go.
See it.
Broncos, Dolphins, Colts, or Broncos this week. Dolphins. Dolphins defense been great.
Broncos for the rest of the year, though.
Yeah, if you can, I mean, the Colts have been really good, but you can probably just start the Dolphins this week, then roll with the Broncos if you need, extra space on the bench. Would you start OBJ over Zeke in full PPR? Probably so. Yeah. Mitch is the Dynasty League player, super flex. I lost Burrow. I feel your pain. I lost Burrow and Rodgers in the league. So that's where I have Tommy DeVito start. Goddard, Cook, Javante, Sutton. There's only one answer.
It's Courtland Sutton every week. It's unbelievable. Every week he catches a touchdown. It's unbelievable.
And it's a good matchup. This Lions secondary has been trash.
And not only does he catch a touchdown, it's the most insane difficult touchdown that any person could even come up with. Does anybody catch a ball in the end zone better than Courtland Sutton? The answer is no.
His highlight reel is insane this year. He's like not even on pace for 1,000 receiving yards. He's just like his touchdown.
He's Chris Carter, baby. All he does is catch touchdowns. That touchdown last week was insane.
Just imagine if Jerry Jeudy was like
competent. He could.
Yeah.
Russell hit him in the hands twice on 50-yard dots, and he just went like this. And then he throws it to Sutton, and Sutton catches it one arm falling down out of bounds.
Yeah. It's got to be Sutton. Yeah, even in the tight end premium league, you have your answer. And I mean, I think Cook, Javante, and even Goddard are all good starts, but it's got to be Sutton for me.
Philly just doesn't get the ball to Goddard enough.
No, this new scheme does not at all. But I do really like Cook this week. I think Javante is a good start, but it's Sutton for me. I've been saying it all year long.
I switched over, and it hasn't quit. I started playing Sutton every week. He's still a touchdown every week.
I even said it in the offseason, one of my guys, and that one worked out. Swooped out Likely and Chandler in the Catch Fam League while I'm on a bye week. Very nice. I do like Isaiah Likely a lot this week. Rock Out with another super chat. Thank you, ma'am. Dallas D better team or Indy D versus Pittsburgh better matchup? It's always a tough decision. Like you have one of these top defenses, but they're playing a team on the road like the Bills. Do I just stream a team? Probably so. I'd probably just go with the Colts.
I will counter this with, we said the same thing last week, and they dominated the Eagles, but they know the Eagles a lot. And the Bills' offense was not good against Kansas City. They scored 17 points. That's kind of whatever. Yeah. But they do know the Chiefs, like the Chiefs and the Bills know each other a lot. These two teams do not know each other. So that is kind of where your D can get in a sticky situation where I don't know what this other team's offense does. We can get beat. So, Indy.
I don't mind Dallas.
Indy is a safer play.
I think you get potential for a higher ceiling with Indy for sure. But there's probably still a decent floor with the Cowboys.
Josh Allen will throw a pick. So
exactly.
You got 2 points guaranteed.
Exactly. I think you probably go with the Colts. It's definitely close though. All right. What's up, guys? Defensive question: Browns or Atlanta? Ooh, I think I'll say this: Browns for 4, Atlanta for upside. Goddard, CH, McKinnon, or Keaton Mitchell. I have Kincaid as my tight end. Would you start Goddard over Kincaid? Flex someone else? I would not. I would start Kincaid and I would flex McKinnon. How do you feel about that?
Start Kincaid. Yeah, I mean, I don't like either Chiefs. Like, whatever Chiefs running back you're going to pick, it's going to be the wrong one. So, it doesn't super matter. Maybe you guess right. But it always feels like it's like whatever one you pick is going to be the wrong one this week.
Yeah. I don't want to start Goddard unless I have to.
And the Ravens
Usually,
refuse to give Mitchell the ball.
yeah. I think I'd start McKinnon and Kincaid. How do you feel about Tucker Kraft in Dynasty? Picked him up. I've ever as my starting tight end Dynasty after Andrews got hurt. In a situation like that, I'm good with Tucker Kraft for sure. Especially to finish out this season, and then after this season, you're going to have to figure some things out further. But yeah, I mean, Kraft has been really stepping up with Musgrave down, and then that'll be the question next year. Like, who is it, Musgrave or Kraft or both? So for now, fine. Especially if you've been rolling with Everett, it's a good pickup for you for sure. Long term, we'll see. Going Rams, Robinson over Waddle in my home league for fun. I like it. Yeah, I mean, he's looked good the last 2 weeks. A great matchup. So keep your eyes out there on him. Tennessee or Saints defense? Tennessee by a hair.
No need. They have no receivers and no quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Tennessee did a really good job against Miami's run game, which is a very good running team.
Yeah. I'll go Tennessee. Tommy, have Laporta. So could go Goff Laporta stack. Yeah. In our Dynasty League tight end premium, I would do that. Love how Lauren's so torn between them this week. I like T-Law. Lover T-Law, give me T-Law. Taking over Trevor Lawrence questions. A-Chain or Gibbs? I like Gibbs, actually.
I think that's a safer play.
Yeah. Less chance he's going to, like, break his knee randomly or, like, bruise his thigh or something.
Don't put that out there.
I do like A-Chain, but, yeah, I would go with Gibbs. Chandler McKinnon, I'll go Chandler. Appreciate you, Accurate Rhythm. Ray Gamer, what's up? Already off to a bad start with Eckler. He got me 3.8 in standard. Oh, yikes. I haven't even seen the standard score yet, but yeah, that's rough. A-Chain Ridley Rice, I will go Rice. Non-PPR, Sutton, Puka, Ridley. I probably do go Puka this week due to matchup. But
Sutton will score a touchdown for you. So.
Yeah, I do really like Sutton, of course, as we went over just shortly ago. But yeah, that's too good of a matchup for me to ignore. Chiefs or Browns? Maybe I'd go with the home team here and go with the Browns. But I think they both have good weeks. I'm in first place, at least 11-3, but if I lose, it could be in second unless person second loses 8-game winning streak. Could be over. Hopefully not, because person I play from second has scary team. As long as you have a ticket to the chip, it's a good thing. So hopefully you get first, but if not, don't worry too much about it. Kincaid or McBride? I will go McBride. Ranking my running backs, Kyron, Pollard, Gibbs, then most start. Maybe flip Gibbs and most start. I mean, all these guys going to have good weeks. So, yeah, I would probably go Kyron. I mean, yeah, like this
Mostert
order.
Mostert always scores a touchdown.
Yeah, I like Mostert this week for sure. I might like Mostert more than Gibbs or Pollard, quite frankly, because A-Chain's banged up and they're going to need him with even a Tyreek Hill plays, or they're going to need him. So I might actually go Kyron, Mostert, Pollard, Gibbs, but I really like Gibbs. Like, this is tough. You could start all four of these guys, like if you had two flexes, you know. But volume's king, so the Bills' run defense still been bad, so I like Pollard. That's a good problem. I have Colts D this week. Should I play them at home or play the Falcons or Browns? I like the Falcons. Give me the upside. Any love for Kraft over Kincaid? I would still start Kincaid because this is going to be a good competitive matchup. And I expect points. But, yeah, I mean, Tucker Kraft's been fine. So I know Kincaid's ceiling has been lower the Cowboys still haven't been great against tight ends. I would stick with King. Inceptivist needs some help this week. Garrett Wilson or Amari Cooper. That is close, actually. I'm going to go Garrett Wilson by a hair. Goddard or McBride? I'll go McBride. Chiefs or Bears? Give me the Chiefs. Oh, Chiefs or Browns?
That makes it a little tougher.
That's make it tougher. I'll go with the home team. I'll go with the Browns, but all good options. John, I saw you swooped up Robinson Dynasty. I almost thought about dropping Noah Brown for him. Yeah, that team is purely win now, so I'm just following trends. Like I think I dropped Greg Dortch. Like I'm just if whoever's going to be the best for the next 2-3 weeks, like I need those guys on my bench. Jalen Hurts or Dak this week in standard. I'm rolling with Dak, but both are good for sure. Is that crazy?
A little.
Dak's so good, dude.
Dak is also really bad when he's an underdog. He's 1-7 in his career as an underdog or something like that the last 3 years.
I mean, I will say this much. You can always start Jalen Hurts. I mean, take away last week, like his season has been miraculous. But you're literally looking at the QB2 and the QB3. And I like both these matchups. I like both these game scripts. So they're both on the road. Pick your poison. Like both these guys are great. Don't overthink it. Rest of the season quarterback, Stafford or Murray? Stafford. Very close. Let's go with my birthday, the big 21. Happy birthday to you. Been a while since I caught a stream. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Pete's doing great. We're talking some fantasy. We're having fun. Happy birthday.
Throw one back.
Oh, we made it to the bottom of the chat. Let's go.
Wow. Look at us.
We're behind for a minute there. Need one running back in a flex. Javonte, Chandler, Jones, Downs, Randall Robinson, Foreman. I would just go Javonte and Chandler. Take the points. They probably have the safest floor. Maybe an argument for one of the other players, but
I don't trust Aaron Jones. He's always hurt. He's always not going to play. Foreman, Chicago's kind of meh.
Yeah, I'll take Javonte and Chandler. Arby's have been decimated. Have Moss, A-Chain, Chandler, Keaton. Sucks. Had to play Chandler tomorrow before knowing A-Chain's status.
It's not the worst group. Like it's definitely not the worst group ever assembled. Don't feel that bad.
I probably would leave Keaton Mitchell out because the volume has been inconsistent. You can probably just go Moss and Chandler. But yeah, that is a crappy situation because you probably want to play A-Chain if you can, but you won't know. If you get the status on A-Chain tomorrow, you can put him over whichever guy you like least, but I'd probably just roll with Moss and Chandler. Hall or Reed and standard. Ooh. Reed. I think it gives you a better chance to score. Hawk or Ingram. Ooh. Hawk. But it is close.
Ingram decided to play football the last 2 weeks.
What he did last year, dude, like super solid all year long, but like the weeks 14 through 17, like crazy. So I do like Ingram quite a bit, but I think you go Hawk. Good problem. Any sleeper kicker ideas? McManus has been dropped in a lot of leagues, and Dustin Hopkins. I like both those guys. If they're out there, which you're listing McManus, I go get one of those two guys. Let's see. Is my buying that league, but want to know y'all's opinions? Yeah. Put those points up. Put fear into your opponent next week.
No, I lull them into a false sense of security.
Right. Likely or Kincaid? I actually lean Likely. I think you get more touchdown upside. The Jags really struggled against Njoku last week. So Likely's been good. I'll go Likely here. All right, guys. So we made it to the bottom of the chat. We're over an hour. So it is that time of the night. So it's always thank you guys for the fantasy questions. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. And hopefully we gave you guys some good advice and you guys come through with some victories here in week 15 because we want to see everyone advance to the next round of the fantasy playoffs. So, crossing our fingers for you guys, wishing you guys luck. And we got 3 games tomorrow. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So, as always, do us a favor. I just pinned Pete's channel in the chat. Go drop a sub to Pete's channel since he helps us out on Friday nights. And other than that, have fun with you guys and thank you guys for the fantasy questions. So anything you want to say, Pete, before we sign off?
Nope, just 3 weeks left, 2 weeks left in the fantasy season. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully we have a lot of championship questions coming down the road here. Should be a lot of fun for everybody. I'm excited, but as always, a pleasure.
Good luck to everyone out there, and hopefully the Saturday games were good and don't put a damper on our fantasy
Don't worry,
scores.
12 o'clock, crack them open. Yeah. Vikings going to put on a show for everybody. Remember last year, largest comeback in NFL history.
That's true.
We like to make magic on Saturday.
That's true. All right, everyone. As always, like I said, thank you guys for the questions and good luck. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Ghost Hunter says, hit the like or Brandon Staley will coach your fantasy teams. Perfect way to end the stream. So love you guys, man. Loves community. Love the catch fan. I'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, out here on the catch. And